Now, Krea University has been shouting about their interwoven learning experience, and they've been talking about how it prepares you for an unpredictable world, right? Does it do those things? They're a new university, and understandably, they have a lot to prove, especially among potential customers. Parents watching this video thinking, should I send my child here and spend our life savings on their education or not? So, today I'll be telling you about my experience at Krea University, and maybe after hearing about it, you can decide whether Krea University is or isn't for you. Now, ever since their inception, Krea University's selling point has been join Krea University for two reasons. One, it's an interwoven learning experience. You won't just learn one thing, you will get a taste of everything, and you can even mix and match different subjects and see what works for you. So that was really interesting to many people. In fact, in my time at Krea, I talked to a lot of students, and many of them said, yes, I chose Krea because I wanted that liberal arts education, preparing humanity for an unpredictable world. Now, some of you might think this is all just marketing, it's a college, they need to make money. On the other hand, some of you might wonder, well, okay, what do they mean by that? So let's get into the details. All right, so let's answer two questions. I think two of Krea's main selling points are preparing you for an unpredictable world and interwoven learning. So let's start with the first one, preparing you for an unpredictable world. Is it just marketing? I've studied there for 3 years and I joined in August 2022. So at this time, ChatGPT, Gemini, all these AI tools didn't even exist. They didn't become mainstream yet, and they were not popular at least. So I never really thought about, job stability, things like that. It's only once I began to see all these articles online about X company firing X company, not Twitter, some company firing these employees for because they can be replaced with AI, and this is the course of the job market with AI, and all these big articles, right? After seeing these articles for 6 to 8 months, that's when I began to start wondering, okay, I'll be graduating in the tech sector. Will I be safe from job cuts? As I spent time thinking about that, I began to define what it means to be prepared in an unpredictable world. And for me personally, what that means is having a skill set that allows you to adapt and shift your skill set based on what is relevant at the time. So, for example, if I'm great at Java programming and I have a job as a Java programmer or maybe an internship, suddenly the company decides, okay, you know what, let's fire 50% of Java programmers because we can just use ChatGPT. I lose my job. If I have good enough Python skills and I can apply for a job somewhere where there is demand for Python, yes, I have managed to stay relevant in an unpredictable world. This ability to do this, I don't think it's something inherent to my education at Krea University. They did teach me a bunch of skills. I learned Haskell, I learned C++ a little bit. I learned how the different layers and architectures of a computer interact with the software. I learned a bunch of different computer science skills along my time at Krea University. However, I don't think the education as a whole inherently prepared me with the right skill set to adapt. In fact, I feel like the time I spent kind of working on GitHub or like building my own like Python software, and I think that's what prepared me for the job market. I think that's really where my learning happened. Not necessarily in the classroom. But then again, you could say, well, I'm not someone who learns in the classroom. I'm someone who learns outside the classroom. Everyone learns differently. However, in terms of adapting to an unpredictable world, I don't think Krea necessarily inherently prepares you for that. I think that's really kind of your job. Okay, first of all, what? Okay, guys. So I actually recall that when I started my second year, Krea actually had this mandatory program that the new batch of 2027 new first years had to attend. In this program, they basically warn them about the repercussions of using large language models like chatgpt for your work, how to use them responsibly, and of course how to avoid plagiarism, especially in writing intensive subjects like WOC. So, yeah, to some degree, I think Krea University does kind of adapt its syllabus based on the current scenario, and I think that's a good thing. I think more schools and universities should follow suit. However, I feel like adapting in an unpredictable job market requires two things. It requires knowing what you're good at, what you enjoy doing as well, and it also requires researching the job market and understanding what employers are looking for. These two things are very easy to do on your own with your computer. So you should probably do it yourself and not necessarily rely on any institution or body to do it for you. And so, in that sense, I feel like the onus to understand the job market and adapt in an unpredictable job market, yeah, that falls on the student regardless of college. I am aware that this is the internet, so if anyone disagrees with this or has a different opinion on this, by all means, please educate me and the audience in the comment section down below, because this is all I can kind of say from experience. So that's my answer to the first question.